Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to introduce to you a band piece called After Mozart, composed by the Kossuth Prize winner, Hungarian composer called Laszlo when the European Broadcasting Union commissioned him on the 250th anniversary of the death of Mozart with a title, with a concept of the piece as Mozart and Our Day. The title is After Mozart. Mr. Dubrovay came up with an idea that he will write a piece when the first session will be about depicting the dramatic struggle of our days, of the human race, after a beautiful Mozartian melody descending from heaven, from Marriage of Figaro, he chooses one, and after he works on that melody and our days episodes in a rondo form, with a little variation of each, then the Mozartian melody goes back to heaven. We stay here, but we are happier because music and Mozart's music makes us happier based on the opinion of Mr. Dubrovay. But this is not the main idea and why I'm talking about, but let me share with you the photo of Mr. Dubrovay, and he is Mozart and Dubrovay. These are the people whom are incorporated in the piece, and the piece is about. And why I am talking about, because of the innovations, the acoustical sound innovations of Mr. Dubrovay for the wind band. He's requesting and calling the brass players to play sounds that basically nobody applied on the wind band before. Let me show you from the introduction of the score when he describes which sign means what and what to do. In the first one, you can see that there is a wow sordino used when the brass players have to move their fingers in front of the sordino. You know, they hold the instrument in the right hand, so they have to use their left hand to do that. The second one, with your palm, with their palm, they have to do that. The third sign shows don't do anything with your left hand, just use the sordino. After we see a sign number 4 here in the line, when the horse screaming sound supposed to be imitated. After a glissando with the double tongue, you have to push the valves a little bit down, or the trombone players not to put the mouthpiece strictly on their mouth to be able to do that. After they have to sing in a glissando sound, and the last one is a overtone glissando that I can't play on the piano because the overtones are in that way the typical feature of the brass instruments. So he is applying a beautiful traditional classical sound with the Mozartian music after the 20th century, free 12-tone technique applied with polytonality. And the third kind of the sound is that he applies from his creation, because he was an extremely creative and innovative composer for the wind band, to do sound as a third group of sound applications that nobody did before. So here is the score. We see a very nice polytonal melody starting with the dramatic depiction of the human race, and suddenly we see this wow idea moving their fingers. The harmony is a very nice 2 layers polytonal chord in functional order. Very nice. Let me show you how they sound and how they have to alter it to sound. Here we are in the piano. This is the chord that they have to play, but they have to play with their fingers front of the sordino, so it will sound like something like this, but not exactly, because they have to change it with their fingers. So it's very brass instrument focused, very unique sound. Let's go back to the score and let me show you how the other signs are applied. Here is another one when you can see the overtone glissando on the tuba. So very low, whoa, they have to go from the very low range to a very high range. And it's very unique. Nobody applied for wind band before. And here is another very unique sign when they have to sing, and another overtone glissando downwards on the horns. Trumpets are singing, they're moving up. Let's see a little more of these very unique sound implications. Here we are. Very unique scores, sound, overtone glissandos, up and down horns and trumpets and flugelhorns, very different that we have ever seen before. And there is another one when more is applied, creating a sound that wind band, not a very frequently called for, double tone, frullato, glissando at the same time. Very interesting. So my suggestion is to take a look at this piece because it's very unique and not everyone came up with this idea. This is the innovation application of almost electrically possible created sounds now calling the brass players. That makes it very unique for the brass instruments. And this might sound like this in the band. Let me show you a little bit of the sound, how the wind band is playing it. Let's see the beginning first. And after I will show you a little more from the here are the trumpets and Mozart descending from heaven. And let me show you how later these all applied in the band, more unique sound combinations. Melody goes back to heaven, but we are happier. So I would suggest you to take a look at this piece because it's very different with these all sound combinations that nobody ever used before in the wind band, creating the classical sound combined with the 20th century compositional techniques and 21st century's sound created by Mr. Dubrovay. It's not a new idea that music is coming from heaven. There were other people during history who came up with this idea that music is coming from heaven. And the first that we know about it was Pope Gregory, who composed who left us the Gregorian chants, who said, no, 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 I am not a composer. I'm just connected to the Holy Spirit, the spiritual world. and in the form of dove, they are leading my hands. I am not the composer of these. They are coming from heaven, the sound. And very, very interesting that there are some native Indian tribes also who believe that the music is coming from heaven. This is why they don't apply human words with meaning to the melodies, because they say that we just contaminate music if we apply ourselves to it. So they created specific nonsense vocables to the music to make sure that the purity and the clear impact on us, as Mr. Dubrovay also said, that Mozart's music made people happier. I go a little bit further and I say, in general, music makes people better. So this is why I think music is coming from heaven, because it helps us to become a better creation. And I hope that you will find this by performing this piece too. I wish you lots of fun with it. And also I wish you a fantastic day. Please remember from my Hungarian accent for the message of the piece of the Mr. Dubrovay. Have a wonderful day and talk to you soon.